We've been exploring Hanoi for a few weeks now and thought we'd take you along. From food to temples to custom tailoring, let's explore our top 12 things to do in Hanoi.
So we've been in Hanoi for a while already, but we've been mainly working. It's been like a work catch-up kind of week for us. She's making funny moves over there, isn't she? So now we're actually getting out and like doing some tourist stuff. So we figured you guys should come along and let's just go see like the cool stuff in Hanoi.
Tons of things to see. First up this morning, we're at the Temple of Literature.
We're at the library.
The library, figures. I don't think we'll be able to read or understand any of the actual literature in there, but let's go check it out.
Let's go see it.
Van Mu, or the Temple of Literature, was built in 1070 AD and is dedicated to Confucius. When it was built, it hosted the National Academy, Vietnam's first national university. The temple is constructed into 5 courtyards, the first 2 of which were dedicated to areas of rest for scholars away from the hustle of the busy city. The 3rd courtyard contains 2 buildings that house the treasures of the temple. The 4th courtyard contains altars to the most honored disciples of Confucius. While the 5th and final courtyard hosts the academy itself.
It's a steamy one today.
Yes, every day in Asia it's a steamy one, but today it's always extra hot when we go and film, which just adds to the pressure, you know?
All week it's been overcast and nice out.
Yeah, now it's humid and sunny, so just look at the positive, right?
The grounds are covered with pillars, buildings, and stelae dedicated to the doctors who studied here, and are common locations for offering ceremonies.
Oh, that's a tart one. I might have asked them for not enough sugar. But one of our addictions since Kuala Lumpur, when we first discovered lime juice, now we've been getting it like everywhere that we go, haven't we? It's perfect refreshment in the hot, hot tropical heat.
Let's head up to, well, we saw the south end of the original Imperial City. Let's go see the actual Imperial City.
The Imperial Citadel of Thang Long was built in 1010 AD. It stood as a seat for power for Vietnam until the capital was moved to Hue City in 1802.
Oh wait, we forgot something.
So one of the really popular things to do when you're in Vietnam is custom tailoring. So we got here a couple of days ago, and one of the first things I went and did is I ordered a custom suit. So we are on our way to the first fitting to see how it's going.
Vietnam is fairly famous for custom tailoring of all different types. I chose to work with Frome Bespoke tailors. On the first visit, they took a host of measurements and we selected all the finer details such as cloth type and color, lining, buttons, pocket styles, and the overall suit design. On this first fitting, the suit is loosely sewn together or basted to ensure a perfect fit before the final sewing and finishing. ensuring things such as trouser waist and inseam, suit jacket, shoulder fit, and buttonhole placements are all decided.
So after all that sightseeing, if you know us, it's time to get some food. Now we've been here in Hanoi for about 2 weeks, and you can trust that we have tried countless different places for pho, and we may have found our very favorite, and it just happens to be a Michelin bib as well. So we're gonna go and show you where to get pho in Hanoi. Let's go.
You're brave.
Yep, I am today. Just cleanses your soul.
So pho was good.
Pho was fantastic. Okay, so what are we doing now? We're gonna go find some silk pajamas.
We were, until that joke. We're going to the Dunchuan markets. We're going to the big cheap markets to find Chloe some cheap silk pajamas, because the last pair that we bought her in Vietnam lasted, well, effectively forever, because you wore them every day.
Yeah.
And they were like the best silk pajamas ever.
Alright, so that's what we're doing, and we're riding in a rickshaw on the way, because why not?
Because that's what you do in the Old Quarter. Yeah, I got mentioned. The market was kind of bust.
It wasn't like the one that we went to in Way, where we found all these silk pajamas. It felt more like a wholesaler market or something like that.
If we wanted to buy cloth, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was like a lot of knockoff Armani and just cheap clothing.
You could probably find some silk and then go to a tailor and get some made, but we don't have time for that. But it's hot, and I think it's time for a beverage.
So it's getting to be evening. There's really only one place you go in Hanoi in the evening. It's one party spot. So where are we going?
Beer Street!
This always happens to us.
Whenever we go to have some fun, the weather likes to just have some fun now.
For the record, it was not supposed to rain. For like 10 days.
Usually this street is packed and it's hectic and it's chaos and it's fun, but the rain.
Now it's one Americano and one egg coffee. Egg coffee. It does smell like a custard or a meringue.
A custard?
Yeah, it smells custardy. Well, I kind of like that. That's good.
It's so delicious. Yeah, it is like a custard, or like, it's really sweet. It tastes like it has like brown sugar or something in it. The egg coffee came about during the wartime when there was not much access to fresh milk. So they started using eggs instead, and they ended up really liking it, and now it's in a lot of specialty cafes. They've kind of fancied it up and they make it in different specialty cafes around Hanoi. So you'll see loads of French influence in Vietnam, in Hanoi, even when it comes down to the grapes, which I'm not mad about.
Shoe shine. It's one of the conveniences of Hanoi is guys wandering around everywhere. And there's some women out there doing it too, but doing shoe shines. And most of them, if they start at 50,000, I don't argue with it. You just pay into 50,000. It's a little over $3 Australian, which you'll never find a shoe shine for that cheap in Australia or Europe or in the US. And they do a really good job. It's a nice little convenience, and I don't have to do it myself right now. Have a grape and a coffee while you wait for your shoes to be shined. Come on. Okay. We really wanted to go inside the Hanoi Opera House. And everywhere you look online it says you can pay for a visitor ticket to just go inside, check it out, see what's going on days when there's not a show, or times when there's not a show. And apparently, according to the Opera House, that's not true.
So you can admire it from the outside, or you can go to a show at 9 o'clock at night.
But you can't go check it out. It's kind of sad.
This is the Opera House.
It's a gorgeous building.
A bit different from the Sydney Opera House.
Some New York Wall Street vibes.
That's a bomb me I've been thinking about for 2 weeks.
Taking you to prison.
What did I do?
Wailau Prison was first used by the French when they colonized Vietnam to house political prisoners. During the Vietnam War, it was used to house American and Allied prisoners of war. This is when it earned its infamous nickname, the Hanoi Hilton. After the Vietnam War, it continued to be used as a prison for Vietnamese dissidents and political prisoners. After its long and somber history, the prison was demolished in 1990 with only the gatehouse remaining as a museum.
So the prison.
It was intense.
It's pretty intense, but it's a bit difficult. It's a bit controversial, I think, walking around in there.
No matter what, it's going to be controversial, right?
Right. I think it really well documents the treatment of the Vietnamese by the French. But I think the interesting part for me was seeing how they document prisoners of war the North Vietnamese held during the Vietnam War. And obviously they put a very golden spin on it, as they would. And I think it's just something to really remember. You're in a different country and they have different feelings and different beliefs about how their history is gone. You know, how they feel their history is gone.
History is going to be portrayed differently depending on where you are and who's telling the story. So it's just quite insightful.
Good learning experience.
Yeah.
Now, awkwardly, we're gonna just go and hopefully pick up my suit.
This final fitting can sometimes result in a little more work to be done. I chose to have the hem adjusted a little more in the trousers, which they were able to do while we waited, and they'd forgotten to sew on the buttons for braces. Normal turnaround time is 1 to 2 weeks for a suit of this caliber. However, they can be constructed in less than 48 hours. Just don't expect a fitting in between or the ability to request many specific eccentricities, like a custom pen pocket or surgeon's cuffs. You'll still be very happy with the outcome, but the more time you have, the better. Suits, or any custom clothing, can be shipped to your home after the first fitting, giving the tailor a little more time to craft you a perfect garment.
I like the fit on the jacket though. What do you think?
I think you look really nice.
Vietnam was the first country in our travels around Asia to have wine bars that both carried great wine and had good prices. That French influence still really shined through here as well, as this was the first proper cheese and charcuterie board that we have had in months.
So we'll do Iberico ham, camembert, comte, olives, and then we'll do a bottle of Santa Steph de Montreux.
About time. Cheers to you guys too. You're coming along this journey too.
And there you have it, our list of 12 things to do in Hanoi. If some of these don't interest you, never fear. This is only a handful of the amazing things to see, do, and eat in this beautiful city. And if you haven't liked and subscribed yet below, don't forget, as you don't want to miss out on where we're going next.